Hello, and welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, strategies, and insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today, I'm very lucky to be joined by Mark Scrivner of Snapshot Interactive. How's it going, Mark?
Hey, good, Shiv. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you so much for being on. And Mark, I would love to just understand a little bit, just to start this off, about your background and a little bit more about your agency.
Yeah, we're a 15-year-old agency. We just celebrated our 15th year in April this year. We started out as a video production agency, then quickly pivoted into doing websites and animated videos and have since grown up into more of a full service digital agency. We do everything from branding strategy on the front end to we still do websites, design development, integrate all the tools together, and then we do the ongoing marketing services for our clients. And we focus in a couple areas, behavioral health, healthcare, and behavioral health being a big part of that vertical. And then we've got another vertical that is Caterpillar dealers. And so there's about 40 dealers in the US, and we work with 11 of them to help with strategy and execute on the marketing tactics that we handle for them.
Wow, that's awesome. And but you work in some pretty insulated industries in the sense that like healthcare, we work a lot in healthcare and skilled nursing and all of that stuff and assisted living. And it's one of those things where people go with agencies because they know another client has worked with them or something like that. You being around for 15 years, I would assume it's the same thing for a Caterpillar like location or whatnot. How does one break into something like that and start getting clients in a world like that?
It's interesting. It is all a referral network. And once you do a great job with one, it started out with us doing video content for a dealer or two, and then that turned into video content for four or five. And then as we pivoted, we acquired a small video production firm that worked with a lot of cat dealers out of St. Louis. And then we wrapped in all the other services that we could go do for these dealers. And so that's really it started with just a video, and then it's you build trust, and all of a sudden it's a big network, but it's also very small and tight knit where once you do a great job, people are happy to refer you on to their friends and colleagues. And it's the same in healthcare and behavioral health. And it's really a relationship business built on trust where you just have to come in and do a great job. And when you do, people are going to reward you with referrals. And
Yeah.
that's what we've seen all along the way.
Yeah, and I think no matter what happens in the agency world, that axiom will always remain the same. Is that your best form of marketing, your best form of sales is always just to do really good work for the clients that you do have. Just knock it out of the park, and they'll automatically, you can do that, and the clients will get to a point where they're just constantly, they can't stop talking about you because you're doing such a good job. And it sounds like you've done that. And I want to walk back a little bit through when you started Snapshot. You said you started it because you believe that you could build something better, not just for clients, but for your team and your family. So I'm curious, what does better mean to you, and how have you kept that vision intact over time?
Yeah, early on in my career, I was in the restaurant business, high-end restaurants, and I brought a lot of that hospitality into the marketing world. And really, it's like the client service, customer service focus when we started. And we started in 2010, and video storytelling was becoming a really huge component of the online web experience. And so I probably gave my wife 500 ideas, and finally she said, "Listen, you've done this for a couple people in the past. Like, why don't you just take a shot and do it on your own? I'm tired of hearing all these ideas." And so that's how we started it. And it was really, we did have a plan, and the plan was come out and produce really high quality video content that tells a great story. We used to say we take the friction out of the experience because we would shoot and edit a video, and the client was super happy with it. But then instead of just delivering a video either on YouTube or a disc or whatever, we would go, "Where would you like this at?" And most of the time they would say, "Love to have it on my website." And the first question was always like, "Man, do you guys do websites?" After we integrated it for them, it was like back in that day was WordPress was really starting to come out as the open source and clients had access to it. But before that, it was like the web designers had the proprietary software they built on, and really that was just code word for I've got the keys to the kingdom, and every time you needed something updated, it was $500. And we came in and really made it easy for the clients. We took the friction out of the experience, and that just turned into more and more referrals for video and websites, and then that spun into animated videos that could tell a story on a product in 45 seconds versus 5 minutes that it would take somebody to explain their business.
Mhm. That's really interesting. And I feel like you start out in a really great way in terms of what you like. I think the best way to build an audience if you're a creator is to just talk about what you like. I'm going to connect this, but you talk about what you like and then you figure out what your audience wants and then you figure out a way to sell it to them. And in the same way, in agency, I think some of the best agencies start out as, hey, I'm really good at this one thing. And now my clients are asking for the next thing, like what else they need, and I'm gonna go figure out a way to give it to them. And it sounds like you built your business that way, which is really cool.
Yeah, Shiv, you mentioned a little bit ago about the customers and the referrals. And I see today a lot of agency owners, they're so worried about going out to get the very next deal that they can get. And really, like the gold mine of opportunities is with your current clients. And that's, man, if you just go ask them, we challenge the team is to one, show up to every time we have a call, which is for some clients it's weekly, for some it's biweekly, some it's monthly. But don't ever show up without ideas and strategy behind those ideas. Even if the client says no 500 times in a row, at least it makes us seem like we're the authorities. We're bringing them new ideas. And a lot of times agencies are so worried about going to get the next client that they stumble over $100 bills with their current clients. And not only, hey, increasing their retainers, but also, hey, we're doing a great job for you. You love working with us. We love working with you. Who else do you know out there that we should go talk to based on everything we're doing for you? And
Yes.
I've just found that people want to help. And so when you pose it like that, everybody wants to go help introduce you to the next person.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. And I've trained a lot of sales and agency world and a lot of other industries, and the two biggest like inflection points or like where the people are most likely to refer you are right after you close a deal with them, like they agree to become your client, and right after you deliver them a really good result. Those are the two best times. A lot of people think they just close it. I haven't done any work for them, so why would they want to? But if your process is really good, where you're asking really good questions about your sales process, and they agree, they're likely to be so impressed with you that without you even doing any work, that's one of the biggest ways for them to pass you clients. Is right at that point. So if anybody's listening, those are good ways to get referrals. And you're absolutely right. I think that especially when starting an agency became the hot thing to do, everybody was like, well, let me go out and get as many clients as I can get so that I can grow this thing as big as I can. And I think a lot of good work was left on the wayside.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to clients and choosing clients, your favorite clients are described as ambitious, grounded, values driven, and coachable. And I'm curious, how do you identify those traits early on? And what red flags tell you that someone doesn't have that or someone isn't a
Yeah.
fit?
It's all about the relationship. And I would
Mhm.
say, another word that would be in there is we want clients that view our working relationship as a partnership. And it's like we want to become a part of their team and we want to be viewed as that. I think when you are, like, you're very sticky and people want to do business with people they enjoy and they like and trust. And the only way that that will be possible to build that is just showing up and being around. And it may just be me calling the client once every couple months just to check in and see how everything's going, even though the team is just killing it with them. It's just that little touch point of acknowledging that, hey, we're here. And so I think that red flags, though, I would say, in what I've seen is a lot of times it is when there's not a liaison between the CEO and us. Like when we're working directly with the CEO, it it tends to be a rougher like relationship. One, I know I'm a CEO and I I work really fast and I probably want to get things a little bit less than what maybe the team would. And so it's just my expectations are really high for people and so I get it. And when we get into those relationships, it's always just, man, we need to like almost do a personality assessment of the team that's going to be working with the CEO and let's make sure that's a good match.
Yep.
Or I think just where when I say coachable, it's just they want to look at this as like a partnership where they're going to bring ideas and we're going to bring ideas and we're going to share those ideas and come up with the very best tactics that we can go do for them versus just, hey, we've got a client that's going to dictate of here's how many posts you're going to do a week, here's the emails that are going to go out, here's what they're going to look like. That kind of stuff is where I don't think any agency can like win in that environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think not a lot of people recognize that because I think a lot of people think that, oh, I'm dealing directly with the CEO as the prospect. This is a great idea. A CEO is a plumber, as a plumber, fireman, they're running their businesses. They're every position essentially.
Oh,
So to have them to try to focus on being a marketing manager or marketing director is really hard. And you know that better than anybody, I'm sure. And at that level too, I think a client choosing their agency and an agency choosing their client is much like you choosing a partner to marry. You've got to really evaluate each other and what are both people bringing to the table. I think I'm very glad that's as we're moving forward and as the agency world is evolving, as marketing is evolving, people are starting to realize that the agencies can really only be as good as their clients are and then can put in what their clients can put in. And so it seems like you guys have gotten a really good process for nailing that down. Mark, this has been awesome. Where can people learn more about you? Where can people learn more about Snapshot Interactive?
yeah, it's Snapshot. It's just snapshot.agency. Go check us out. And then I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. And so I try to keep up and put out some insights. And we're launching a couple new podcasts that I'll be promoting out there as well. LinkedIn's another great spot. And really appreciate the opportunity, Shiv. It's been fun. Hopefully, I imparted a little bit of good insights for your audience.
You definitely did. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. Thank you.